This is
Throwing Shade, where feminasty Aaron Gibson
and homosexual Brian Safi
take a look at the headlines in politics
and pop culture
and treat them with much less respect than they deserve.
Can you handle it?
Why didn't he run it? Why did he pass it?
Oh, yeah. I'm running, I'm passing. You're talking about Beastie Boys.
The Super Bowl.
Oh.
The big news was that he didn't
All my
run
goals
it.
are
He
tiny.
passed it. He didn't run it. He passed it.
I didn't watch it.
I did watch most of it. I didn't watch the last half hour, which I guess is when like everything happened. But
That's like all football games. You only watch that
I
last
have
time.
something to say.
You do, Luigi?
I do. For all of you who complain about the length of Jackie Brown, all these movies,
Yeah.
all this art.
Forrest Gump, Boyhood.
Boyhood? You have the right to complain about Boyhood, and yet you're totally fine being like, he's going that way. No, he's going this way. No, he's going this way. Oh, I wish he would have run 3 feet so the world would be okay.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
What could that kid not do because he died? He couldn't ride in
He
a bus.
couldn't get married. He couldn't take a bathtub out in
Now,
the middle of the
children
ocean.
shouldn't get married. Like, we have
You're
enough
right.
child brides,
You're
you know?
right. Honestly, like, it should have been an
After the
advertisement
first
for
one, it was
underage marriage.
completely inappropriate.
No, I thought it was actually really brave.
And was he marrying his dog? I was so
I don't know.
confused.
Every commercial looked like Boyhood. Brave and commercial are so rarely used together, but in this case, I think it really worked.
Yeah, it really does.
It was such a statement on, like, pick up your house, get a maid.
Don't murder your kid accidentally.
Exactly.
What will buying insurance do to teach you how not to accidentally murder your child?
Aaron, it's so funny. Like, your mind is so literal, A to B to C to D.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Alphabets.
people just make statements that have nothing to do with their ads.
Like the Jeep ad.
Like the Jeep ad.
Like
the
everything's
Nissan ad.
beautiful. This is an SUV.
Yeah.
and
Visit Morocco in this Jeep.
Yeah.
Or
Which you can't do because you need a ship.
how about the McDonald's one? Did you see that one that was like,
Oh, we'll give you free
if
hamburgers
you call
smile.
someone and you could do a few things. One is you call someone and tell them you love them.
And how can they prove that?
And first of all, how humiliating. Hi, I love you. I'm at McDonald's alone.
Why did you call? Oh, because they're going to give me a free hamburger.
Yeah, hi, I love you. What's the catch?
Fries.
The Shamrock Shake.
Isn't it cruel though? Because like McDonald's workers are very underpaid and can't unionize.
Are they?
But then they have to watch someone proclaim their love for another human being in front of them.
Yeah, I
like,
would
it's
love
bad
a raise.
enough for them.
I would hashtag loving raises.
Yes, that you should start that on Twitter, sir.
That's right. What else happened? Tom Brady. That was it.
What did Tom Brady do?
I don't know. Marshawn went like this. That's been going around the internet. Did you see
Oh,
that face?
Marshawn's face?
Yeah. Did you see Katy Perry?
I did. She came over. We had
Oh, okay,
tea.
good.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, I couldn't remember. I know you guys had loose plans, so I hope she confirmed and then showed up.
Well, the problem is I knew there was going to be sharks in that show. I'm deathly afraid of sharks.
You
know,
are.
because they rape.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Sharks sneak up on the woman, bite her dorsal fin, and then look her in the eye.
Yeah.
While they do that.
And she had the nerve to have him dancing next to her during California Dreamin' or whatever she sings.
Yeah. I will say it was the most I've ever liked Katy Perry. I don't really dislike her. I've just never loved her, but
I don't dislike her. I don't like her. She's meh to me. You know what I mean?
yeah, United States of America.
Ika.
Isn't
Yeah.
that funny?
That's so funny. Lord Jesus Christ brought me a beautiful present this weekend.
Are you talking about me?
No, I'm talking about our new dog Oliver. Somebody left a tiny little pup in the near the curb with just a dog food tin and just sped away.
Outside your house?
Yeah. One of the nice ladies who found him, who saw him, who knocked on our door and was like, "Is this your dog?" Like, we would feed our dog outside. That's the first thing. I was like, "You're making a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Is this your dog eating outside who's scared shitless?" So she brought him in our house because I didn't know what to do. I didn't want him out there. He was going to run away and get hit by a car.
Right.
We brought over Lambert, Ollie's mom's dog, to like calm him down, and they had the best time. They became instant friends, and then for 6 hours they played. For 6 full hours, and on hour 7 they sucked each other's dicks.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
And you know what I
disgusting.
thought to myself, because I let him do it?
You thought to yourself, you know what? There's something deeply wrong with me.
What I thought, though, I did wonder this. Like, because Ollie was worried. We were both very high on pot cookies, and he was worried they were going to give each other a heart attack because they were so in love with each other's dicks. And I was like, you have to remember, like, when we first got together, we were having sex all the time. And that's what people do when they first fall in love. And then I wondered if that's what you and Derek did
When what?
when you guys fell in love. Is if you just chased each other around the house and sucked each other's dicks.
First of all, so funny. So I get why you're laughing. Like, so funny. Second of all, completely appropriate. Aaron, I I don't really know what to say. It clearly is the highlight of your day.
There are congratulations.
So thank you very much. Thank you. We actually spent a very romantic weekend at the Parker, and
chasing each other around.
That's all we did.
Sucking each other's dicks.
Yeah. Oh God. Well.
So Colleen McCullough, do you know who she is?
Yes.
Sorry.
I think so.
Yeah. So she wrote The Thornbirds.
Yes.
Well, you just tell everyone like a quick synopsis of what The Thornbirds is about.
Love in the time of love.
Okay, in Australia.
It's
an Australian.
Love in the time of. Oh, hold on. Love in the time of love.
Right.
I can't do it.
So she had this hugely successful international book and miniseries, which was almost as well watched as Roots.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Huge.
Yeah, huge numbers.
The numbers through the roof. The network couldn't be more pleased.
Try to match that, the slap.
Yeah.
So she sadly passed away.
Oh.
Don't worry, Brian, because everyone respected her in her obituary.
Oh, good.
Including the Australian, which is her home country.
Yes.
So it starts like this. Plain of feature and certainly overweight, she was nevertheless a woman of wit and warmth.
That's like the opening to a Jane Austen novel. Like, who's writing this?
So no context. If you didn't know who this woman was, this is the first thing you're going to read about her. Really, just what a wonderful way to send off this woman. Starting it off by whether or not she's fuckable or not, essentially.
Yeah, right.
So it sparked a beautiful backlash on Twitter.
Good.
Where people used the hashtag #MyOzObituary, rushed to condemn this sexism on Twitter. Chris Warcraft, who is Chris, the football player. What's his name?
Why are you looking at me?
Because he's like the LGBT.
Oh, Chris Cooley.
Chris Cooley, yeah. He said, a loudmouth douche canoe who rose to fleeting prominence speaking on equal rights. He was nevertheless an eloquent swearer.
Wow.
Author Neil Gaiman, who is married to Amanda Palmer, he wrote, although his beard looked like someone had glued it on and his hair would have been unconvincing as a wig, he married a rock star. So I just love that everyone took this into their own hands and rewrote it. Now, Alexandria Petrie, I never say her name right, and I wish I had. I just don't have the time to look it up.
No,
you know?
Who does? Yeah, I have to go online. I have to make
Where
sure
do I even go?
I can get into my apartment.
Google just shows me letters.
Yeah.
Miss Petrie, if you're me and you didn't look it up.
Miss Petrie, if you're a scientist.
Yeah, that's funny.
Isn't that funny?
Took it a step further and she rewrote
Petri dish.
That's
right.
Probably what it is, because she's smart. Wrote obituaries for famous men in the style of the Australian.
Okay.
So for Teddy Roosevelt, she wrote, resembling a fat walrus in little spectacles.
He did.
Yeah. He was nevertheless president at one point or another.
True.
Just whenever.
Right. Doesn't matter.
This is the last one. Ernest Hemingway. This man looked like a big drunk cat. Contributed to literature in some way, possibly. I just love it. I love that people were outraged, and this obituary for this wonderful author who I don't know any of her work. I assume she's great. You know her.
I think she's a Margaret Mitchell. Like, I think she sort of wrote, that was the big thing she wrote. I don't know what else she wrote. I send the hate.
She was also a neuroscientist, so that's another thing, too. Don't stop trying so hard.
You can't prove that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, she's taught at Yale.
Whatever. So she bragged a lot? Is that... Whatever. I don't have time. For braggers? Whatever. You're just jealous because you never taught at Yale. Hey, I have a question. Do you want to write your own obituary? Yeah.
Okay, do it. For you.
About who?
For you. Your own obituary in the style of being insulting.
Well-heeled. Funny.
You mean healed like you can, like when you get a cut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heals quickly. Funny.
No, it has to be insulting.
Oh, this is going to be... willing to risk picking up, refusing.
You can do it. Just try
refusing to wear a clean cloth for but a shirt.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you. What would be yours?
Mine? Mm-hmm. Arms like a loose garden hose. A nose to dive into the abyss off of. She made a subtle career in comedy, hand quotes.
Uh-huh.
Look not really effortless at all.
So we're just insulting ourselves.
Yes.
Okay, let me try it again. Hang on. Having nowhere to be. I can't do it. Oh, no. I just want to say that I'm in shock by what you just did. And for those of you who don't know, which is everybody, Erin had a mint in her mouth and just spat it across the room like Laura San Giacomo in Pretty Woman.
Well, here's the thing.
Actually, Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman at the tracks.
If we didn't have people who were here recording this, then I would have gotten up, but I felt like I was wasting everybody's time, so I just spit it onto the carpet. It's my carpet.
Yeah, you're right. All right, Erin, here's the fact. A lot of very provocative photos have come out featuring Kristen Stewart and her, quote, new gal pal. Do you know anything about this?
Oh, no. Who's her new gal pal?
Rumors are circling. She's a visual effects producer.
VFX in the biz.
VFX, that's right. Named Alicia Cargile. So Alicia Cargile and Kristen Stewart have been photographed lately, and the photographs would lead you to believe that they're in some kind of a relationship. That, like, who knows how romantic it is? Who really even cares, except that everyone very much cares. And the problem is, no one knows what to call it. So the media is basically calling it, just trying to say, is Kristen Stewart a lesbian? But like being a little bit more delicate than that.
Are they skirting because it's not like the press is like, but we still have some integrity. We don't want to say outright that she's a lesbian.
Right. Except they just don't know what to say, except that they want to say something.
Okay.
And that's really the problem.
Right.
Like some of the headlines have been Kristen Stewart and her gal pal show sweet PDA in Hawaii, which like, I don't even know what that means. So
A public display of affection.
I know what that means.
Oh, did you think it was like a Hawaiian dish?
Yeah. Kristen Stewart and live-in gal pal seal relationship with matching tattoos. So it's just this awkward sort of like, we don't want to say it, but we're saying it kind of conversation that they're having.
Right. Also, I know girlfriends who would go get tattoos together.
This is all I'm saying.
But she's living in her house.
I actually do think they're in a relationship.
Okay.
Like I do actually think that's
Good
a thing
for
that's
her.
happening. Totally good for her. It's really
And good for this tattoo artist, because that's two. Sometimes someone walks in, you think you're only going to do one tattoo. That's
Right.
double the money for that person.
I think the problem is the media's not afraid to talk about someone who's gay or someone who's a lesbian because they can say that. Usually those headlines read like gay talk show host or lesbian bitch or whatever it is.
It's only those two.
Yeah.
Lesbian bitch Rosie O'Donnell joins the view.
Exactly. However, people go into panic mode and things get muddy when they don't know how to describe whatever the relationship is. Because there's not, who knows, there might not be a word for it.
It's not theirs to fucking describe, and it's not Kristen Stewart's job to like be like, here's what I am, so you guys can fit me in a nice little neat package and continue to fucking make money off of my life, which I'm doing nothing.
So one of the things that people think is, well, this isn't serious. She's going, it's a phase is one thing. Another thing is that now she's a lesbian, which she's not. Maybe. I mean, who knows? Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. Another thing is that she's bisexual, which might very well be the case, except did you know as recently as like within a year ago, the New York Times wrote an entire article. The New York Times wrote an article about whether or not bisexuality is real.
What?
Honestly posing that question. So that's something that's clearly not treated seriously at all.
By the oldest, whitest man working at New York Times. Please let me write one more story before I die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing beyond those lines of like, what are you? Are you straight? Are you gay? Are you a lesbian?
Yeah.
That's it. Meg Barker, who's a writer and lecturer, that's all the information I have on her, says people often assume that bisexuality is rare because few people know they know are out as bisexual, which is true. I think I maybe know one person who is out, who claims who is bisexual. Do you remember when Larry King talked to Anna Paquin about this? Did you ever see this?
No.
Larry King was totally mystified by the fact that he was like, because she got married, and then he said, well, so you were what was the question? But you were bisexual. And she said, well, I don't think it's a past tense thing. Are you still straight if you're somebody? If you were to break up with them or if they were to die, it doesn't prevent your sexuality from existing. It doesn't really work like that.
I thought that maybe I could push the boundaries and love a woman.
I mean, I wouldn't force it.
No, but
you don't have to do that.
Yeah, but I do think about if I could do it. Just for, if something happens in the world and I need to,
I used to think I could with Elizabeth Hurley. That was really the only exception.
Yeah.
That I thought if I ever met her, I could maybe do it. But I don't think I can.
Yeah, but could you kiss her?
I could kiss her, but then why?
Yeah, that's right.
Like, to what end?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't kiss people unless my dick's about to get wet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like a swimming pool or something?
Sure. I'll just leave it with this. I actually I am definitely one to say I've never liked Kristen Stewart very much. I think she's marbly mouthed and I think she wears Converse too much. Those were all very mean things that I just said. We should maybe instead just celebrate how much of celebrate. I'm not about to celebrate Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
But I will say this.
I will give you one of those champagne
bottles. It is
bottles.
interesting that she's someone who really does exactly what she wants to do. If she doesn't feel like smiling, she's not going to smile. If she doesn't feel like acting, she's not not going to act. And if she doesn't feel like, you know what I mean? If she feels like, being with a woman or a man or having a relationship and not defining it, good for her. I wish we were all there, actually. I wish we could all be at a place where everyone's sexuality doesn't have to be defined like that, just for our own security and safety and comfort. It's silly.
Yeah, and you know what else? The last person she should be changing for is a bunch of fucking strangers sitting in their fucking pants and bow ties writing shit about her.
And we have yet to hear from her exactly what this relationship is, and she doesn't owe it to us. And really, if you don't know what to call it, if you really need that, just don't fucking write about it. I'm sure she'd be fine with that.
Yeah, write about something important.
Write about me!